Hey guys, what is going on? My name is NoJ456 and welcome to the Attack of the Radioactive Thing Easter egg tutorial. My oh my, this one is a doozy, but I'm going to walk you guys through this in the easiest way possible. You're going to be able to complete this pretty much first try. The only thing you really have to worry about is the boss fight, which is a little difficult, but other than that, there's going to be no guessing, no checking. It's basically going to be mostly you just getting ready for the boss fight because the Easter egg itself is actually really easy with this tutorial. If you guys do enjoy, go ahead and leave a like. That's all I ask in return for this tutorial, and also if you leave a like and comment down below Xbox or PS4, you'll be entered in to win a free $15 code so you can pick up the DLC for yourself if you don't already have it, or if you do, you can get some, I don't know, but buy yourself something nice. Buy your whole family houses. Other than that, let's go ahead and get started with the tutorial, starting with step number 1. So step number 1 is to go ahead and turn on the power and craft the seismic device. Now, I had already picked it up in this gameplay, but the blueprint for the seismic device is going to be sitting right there against the wall. All you need to do is grab that and start to form the device. Again, you do need to turn on the power. That is the first step before you can actually do anything. And a seismic device we're building, but we don't actually need until later. The first part is on the corner of that building over here. The second part is on this bench at the back side. You're gonna go ahead and pick that one up, put it onto the bench once again. And the third part is over here by the porta potties. Once again, just make sure you have the power on before you progress through any more of this because the power being on is an absolute necessity. But once you have all the different parts, go ahead and place them all down on the bench over here and then grab the seismic device. You're gonna use this a little bit later on. Make sure you don't use it or anything like that. Keep it in your inventory, and let's move on to the second step after turning on the power and building this thing. Alright, so the next thing you need to do is pretty much get the entire map open, or have enough points to get the entire map open. Make your way over to the trailer and talk to Elvira. Now, basically, what we're gonna do now is we're gonna go on a run through the whole map, collecting every single piece we're gonna need, or that we're able to collect right now. It's pretty much every single one, but every single piece we're gonna need that we're able to collect for the entire map, starting from her trailer after you talk to her. I've already talked to her in this gameplay. I didn't think you guys needed to listen to that all over again because it's the same thing every time, but just listen to her, go through, talk through everything, and then follow the path that I take right here, collecting everything that I take. So, first things first, you need to come over to the corner of this fence, look down, and grab this little plate down here. Once you grab that, you're gonna go over here and you're gonna throw a grenade or some sort of explosive at this tree. And then as you can see, out of this side of the tree, there's going to be a leg that falls down. You're gonna go ahead and collect that leg. Beautiful. And again, you cannot get that leg until after you talk to Elvira, so you gotta talk to her first and move on from there. So, making our way over here, we're gonna need to go ahead and get this this crowbar right here because it's gonna be needed for other parts. Obviously, we already have the shark knife, but we need to get the crowbar because the crowbar is pretty much gonna be needed for everything else. The only thing the shark knife can do that the crowbar can't is get fat, which we're not gonna need for the Easter egg later on. So there we go. Collect that crowbar that's sitting right there. We now have the crowbar, and then follow the path that I take once again. We're gonna actually need to go back a little ways. I already missed a piece. It's not too difficult though. It's literally just down here. Now down here underneath the car, you're gonna lay down at this corner right here, and you're gonna see that little piece right there. You're gonna hold square. Once again, you're gonna pick that up. These are the those are the little bomb pieces right there. So there's 3 to collect. They're all very easy. You can collect them pretty much right away. So it's really not too bad at all. Okay, so next, we're gonna move over here. We have 3 things to collect in this next area. And again, I thought I'd over-explain this and not cut the gameplay at all, so you guys would never miss any of it. First thing, we need to come over here. This is not the piece that you need. Don't be confused. You can go ahead and grab it. It's something that repairs the trap, but it's not absolutely needed. You need to make your way inside this bathroom, break the mirror, hold square to grab a mirror piece right there. Next thing you need to grab is over here inside of this little fire pit, which is over here. You're gonna see that there's a leg, or an arm in there rather. You might have to jump. This one's one of those where it's kind of finicky on how you grab it. So you're gonna go ahead and grab that. We're gonna make our way over here, and then on the back of this table are the dials. So you can go ahead and grab the dials right there. So again, 3 things. You need to grab the mirror piece, you need to grab the leg, and you need to grab the dials right there. Now, moving into the next area once again, we're gonna need to do a few things here. That won't be too hard. This little box right here is something we need to grab. So we're gonna go ahead and grab that. Huge. There's like literally no way you can miss it. I'm about to kill off one of these. It's super annoying. Next thing that you need to grab is over here at the bottom of the stream is the 3rd and final bomb piece. So it's actually underneath this little bridge here at the end of the stream. It's right over here somewhere. Go up here. There it is right there. You hold square. Once again, you might have to move around a little bit, and you have your 3rd and final piece to the bomb. So we are completely good on that. Next up, we need to go ahead. Actually, this is something that is going to take a little bit of time, but it's something that's worth doing because we can just get it out of the way right now. I'm gonna leave the zombie over here. Once again, it's easiest to do this like not in the middle of a round or anything like that. But you're gonna take out that trap that we built at the very beginning. You're gonna place it right on top of that little blood mark on the ground over there, right where we grab the power handle out from, and you're gonna let this thing kind of like ground pound over and over. I'm gonna try to not kill the zombie. But as you can see, the arm is getting like pushed slowly out of the ground right there. And we're just, unfortunately, we're gonna just have to wait until this thing finishes smashing and then explodes itself because we don't want to kill the zombie. But this is gonna give you one of the zombie parts. Essentially, you're collecting 2 arms, 2 legs, and the torso and the head to the zombie, and then kind of like remake the zombie. So as soon as this thing is done over here, we can go ahead and grab the arm, and then we'll be moving on to the rest of it. The only other thing we're gonna need is 750 points for one of the pieces to get to the meat, or get to the torso rather. There we go. So once it's exploded right here, you're gonna run up, grab this, so we have all the parts from this area. Next up, we need to make our way over here. And the only thing we need to collect in this little parking lot type area is going to be this piece off of the mirror. So you're gonna come over here with the crowbar, has to be with the crowbar, knock the mirror off. It's gonna drop right there on the ground. You're gonna go ahead and grab that. Beautiful. Next thing you need to do is make your way, or I guess first thing you need to do is grab the actual piece that you need. Dude, the what's it called is so loud. He's always so loud. You're gonna grab this little control box right here, and you need to go ahead and repair the freezer, which is going to be the next part that we need to get here, which is the torso. So we're gonna go ahead and grab this, make your way over here, repair the control box. You're gonna buy the trap and make your way outside. Hopefully that didn't. I don't know what I just got hit by. I guess it was the freezer. But yeah, we're gonna let the freezer kind of like do its entire cycle, and then after it finishes, we're gonna go in with the crowbar once again to get the torso. Again, very easy to do. You just gotta pretty much wait for it. And then we're gonna be moving on. We only have a few more parts to collect, and then we are completely done with this round of part collecting. And we're pretty much done with all the parts at this point. There's just a few more that we have to do. So I believe the freezer is finishing up right now. So we're gonna make our way over here. You're gonna melee this piece of meat and grab the torso. It's just that first piece of meat right there that should be looking like a little bit more like it's frozen. Make your way into the next room. On this here, right here, you're gonna grab this bong on the table, which is going to be our valves. And then pretty much our final thing that we need is going to be the punch card in the spell book, which is going to be all the way back over here at this little shack. And once you make your way here, we should be pretty much good to go to the next steps. It wouldn't be too difficult at all. So the punch card is sitting over here on the table. I'm gonna go ahead and grab that. And the last thing we need to grab is the spell book, which is just in this cabinet right here, right next to Skull Hop. Again, you have to talk to Elvira before any of that spawns, but after you talk to her, you should have everything that I have in the inventory right here after that run through. Pretty much everything except for one arm, or one leg rather, in the torso, in the head of your zombie, and you should, again, have everything you have there. And once you have that, you're good to go to move on to the next step. All right, so after collecting all those pieces, what you need to do is on your way back to Elvira, you need to go ahead and grab the shark knife off of the shark once again. We're going back to the shark knife after using the crowbar for all those steps, and I'll meet you guys back over there where Elvira is. So once collecting all those parts, go back to Elvira, give her her book that you will see will pop up over here, and you're gonna have to listen to her talk for a little bit of time. And once she finishes talking, she is going to give you this vial in your inventory. You'll see it pop up right there. And that green vial can only be filled up one of 2 ways. You have to either melee kill the giant green hulking zombies, the ones that are kind of glowing green, the soldier looking zombies. You either have to melee kill those guys, or you have to melee kill the krogs. Those are the only way that you can fill that thing up, and they do have to be melee kills. You cannot kill them in any other way. I just go ahead and kill off the zombie, and it was a krog round, so I'm going to show you guys a little bit of gameplay of it actually being filled up when you get those melee kills on the krogs. Once again, they have to be on those 2 types of enemies, and they have to be melee kills. That's the only way that you can fill that thing up, and you will need to fill it up for the next step. Now, I will note that if it wasn't a krog round, I would be trying to get my leg. I'm going to talk a little bit more about getting the leg in the clip after this, but as you can see, I got a melee kill, and it starts to fill up the vial. It really only takes about 10 melee kills, if that, but make sure you just stay alive, especially during Krogs if you don't have Jug. But just keep on going for melee kills, and eventually you will actually get that that piece that you need, which is the filled up vial. Anyway, I'll talk to you guys in a second. All right, so now we are over here by Jug. Again, the vial is not filled up yet because I just wanted to make sure I show you guys how to get this zombie leg. Basically what you need to do is you need to worry about your melees and getting kind of some grenade kills and stuff like that. Obviously, these are the guys you need to kill, the big green hulking ones. You have to get melee kills on them. There's no other way to fill up the vial except for melee kills on them. I'm gonna go ahead and finish filling that up real quick and then show you guys what you need to do for the final zombie leg, because it actually comes off of a zombie, so you do have to be paying attention. And here's how you actually get it. So basically, if you have the cleaver, you can actually melee one of the legs off. You just basically have to blow one of the big zombies' legs off. You see the big green glowing ones. It can work on normal zombies as well, but I seem to have a lot better luck when blowing the legs off of the big giant zombie ones, the big green glowing ones. So essentially what I was doing here was shooting at the legs. I was knifing and trying to go directly for the legs, and I just decided to opt to throw a grenade, which actually worked perfectly. I'm gonna show you guys that you do have to kind of scan around a little bit, because while I didn't immediately see this leg, I came back to this area a couple of rounds later and found that I actually did blow one of the zombies' legs off, and I just didn't see it initially. So make sure you scan the entire area where you killed the zombie, because as you can see, I didn't even find it in that little clip right there, but here it is. Once you blow the leg off, it stays there for the rest of the game, and you'll see that it has that green glowing kind of business on it, and I didn't even see it at first. So make sure you scan over and over and over. If you're not finding the leg, chances are you already blew one off. You just have to look around the map until you find where you actually blew it off. So make sure that you kill zombies in one certain area until you get that leg, and once you get that leg, you're pretty much free reign to go wherever you want to in the map, but make sure you find that leg ASAP and don't get it lost in the map, because it never respawns. It just stays in that spot every single time. Anyway, let's go on to the next step. So after you've filled up the vial, go ahead and head back to Elvira, and you're going to go ahead and give it to her, and she will actually come out of her little perch there, I don't know what you would call it, her little laying area, and actually play on the map. She is the playable character, so she'll pop out, she'll actually come out toward you and say that she's ready to play, and you need to lead her to this little portal behind the TV station here. So make sure, she's obviously going to kill your last zombie if you have one, so that's just perfectly fine. Let her go ahead and kill him, and then go ahead and lead her over behind this car. She'll follow you if there are no zombies to go after, and she'll say, ooh, this is exactly what I'm looking for, and you'll see she'll like kind of cast this little spell on this little circle here, and that is all you need to do with her there. Now, there's one thing you need to do before she actually finishes. You'll see she's kind of casting her spell, opening up Pack-a-Punch. You need to come over and grab this mirror right here. If you don't see Elvira is not here right now, you just need to go ahead and come back another second later. You'll see Elvira is not here right there, and you can go ahead and grab the mirror and move on. You do have to get that mirror from her perch before she returns to it, and you can't get it immediately after she leaves. It does take a second for it to activate, but go ahead, grab that little mirror, and we're ready to go on to the next step. So this next part you're gonna do whenever you get a battery. Now, essentially, whenever you pick up a battery, you'll see it drop from a backpack, so you need to check all the backpacks that the zombies drop. You'll see that it'll pop up right next to your little calling card in your inventory. You'll see that you have a little battery type thing right there, and that is going to tell you what kind of formula you need to make for your game. There are basically 4 different formulas that you could get that you have to craft to actually defeat the radioactive thing that is completely random per your game. Now, whatever formula you get, you have to craft that one in order to get to the boss fight, and there are 4 different ones to craft, so this is a way to get which formula you need to craft without having to craft all 4 and just hoping one of them works. So, as you can see, once you have the battery, there are 2 different radios around the map. One of them is super close to where I am right here. Here is where the other one is. It's on the other side of the map right next to power. Basically, one of these 2 radios is going to require a battery, or both of them are going to require a battery, and one of them is going to tell you which formula you need. Now, if you're listening to it and it's telling you how to make a certain compound, that is the not correct radio. If it's saying like, in order to make phenol, you should combine this and synthesize this. No, that is not the radio. So if you're listening to that, you basically picked the wrong radio. You have a 50-50 chance of which radio is the correct one. Both of them will require a battery, but only one of them is going to give you the answer. If you listen to it and the doctor starts basically telling you about, hey, this is what I would use if it was like 1945 and we wanted to kill this radioactive thing, but it's not so great anymore. And he starts talking about these different formulas that I'm going to put up on your screen. If you hear these formulas being mentioned, you need to listen for the voice line that sounds like he is actually giving you the one that you want. He'll say, I think I have the solution, and then he'll mention one of these 4, and you need to mark down which one of these 4 he actually gives. Here's the voice line that I got that actually told me which formula was the one that I needed for my game.
I think I have the solution to defeat the radioactive thing. Octahydro 2,5-nitro-347 parazosine.
So again, make sure you listen for the one where he says this is the perfect solution to the problem. He'll say like, you know, this used to be a good solution, or if we had some other chemicals, the 1,3,5-ternitrophenol might be good. But in mine, he says the perfect solution for killing the radioactive thing is the octahydro 2,5-nitro-347 parazosine, and that is the formula that I need. Make sure you write that down because that is the one that you need. Sometimes you can listen through the entire radio and he won't give you the perfect formula, and you have to find another battery and reinsert it because he'll give you more voice lines in the next round. I got lucky and I got it on like the second voice line that I listened to, but you do have to listen for that. This is the perfect solution, and that is the formula that you're gonna get, and that is the formula that is going to 100% be good for your game, and that's the one you have to craft. So for my game, it is octahydro 2,5-nitro, and I will basically write that down and then make sure to make note of that, and then that will come into play a little bit later on. So now we are ready to go and get the final zombie part, which is the zombie head. As you can see, you can go ahead and place it on the spawn in this little stretcher, and you'll see all the parts that you have so far. You'll see that we're only missing the head. We've got 2 arms, 2 legs, the torso, and all we need now is the head. So make your way over to Pack-a-Punch. Make sure you grab the crowbar before you do this because you will need the crowbar for this step. Go ahead, head through the portal, just look up in the sky to find it, and then we are going to do a couple things in here. We need to find the number that is in the trailer after you leave Pack-a-Punch. We need to go ahead and get the double Pack-a-Punch fuses, the alien fuses, from the trailer after you leave, and you need to go ahead and get the zombie head. So go over here, press this button on the wall, and whenever you press this button, you'll be teleported to a trailer in which you need to go ahead and grab the zombie head from the front of the trailer, and then jump up and melee this little cabinet up here that's kind of half open. You'll probably run out of time, or probably have to go back in. I'll show you guys what it looks like when we go back in right now. Okay, so now we're back in the Pack-a-Punch. You're gonna go ahead and once again, press this button to turn it green. We're gonna go back through, we're gonna jump up and grab the alien fuses up there, and you're gonna write down this number right here. This number is 8. I'm writing down this number right now. So now I have the alien fuses, I have the zombie head from the front of the trailer, and I have my number, which is 8. All you have to do with that one is just write it down. So now on my piece of paper, I have octahydro written down, and I have that number 8 written down. Now, what we're gonna do now is we're gonna go ahead and figure out which one of the 4 numbers you actually need instead of 8. So after you have that 8 written down, or whatever number is inside of the trailer for you, you're gonna write that number down. The second number is over here underneath the bridge. You're gonna go ahead and write that number down. Third number is over here. You need to go ahead and write this one down. It's a little hard to see, but that is a 15 for me. It may be different for you. It probably will be different for you. And then the fourth and final one is over here on this wall near the spawn area. So you're gonna go ahead and write all of those down, and once you have them all written down, you're gonna go back to the TV station and change the color. Now you have to do this process 3 times, but on each one of the colors, you need to change the color and go look at each one of the little numbers. Now, there will be a do not equal sign or a does not equal sign if that is not your number. So as you can see right here, the 15 has an equal sign with a little slash through it. So that means I need to cross out the 15 on my sheet of paper. You need to check each of those 3 locations in each of the 3 colors. As you can see, 2 is still good. We're gonna go ahead and head over to the other one. And we already know that 15 is not the number. We already got a did not equals there. And if we check in blue, we see that that 4 now has a do not equal sign. So basically, I have the 8, the 2, the 15, and the 4 all crossed out. And basically, if any one of the 3 numbers that you were checking each time, the one under the bridge, the one over by the gas station, and the one inside of the freezer room, if all 3 of those got crossed out, then your number is the one that was inside the trailer. Or if one of those numbers isn't crossed out, just like the 2, the one that underneath the bridge on all 3 of the colors was not crossed out, that is my number right there. So if the 2 had also had a do not equals, then that means that the 2 would not have been my number, and 8 would have been my number, the number inside the original trailer. But basically, it's just process of elimination. Very, very easy. If you cross out all 3 of the numbers that you check in each of the 3 colors, the number is the number that was inside of the trailer. If not, if it passes all 3 of the colors and you check it like the one underneath the bridge past all 3 of the colors, that is my number. So I know that that number is 2. You need to write that down, circle it, highlight it, cross out the 8 because the 8 is not my number. It is 2. And that will obviously change from game to game, but you do need to know what that number is. It's absolutely essential. So after figuring out which number it is, my number is 2. You can go ahead and switch it back to full color for just a second. We're about to change it back. It doesn't really matter if it's full color or not. And then you need to make your way over here, right next to the TV station, and look at this number in the corner. So my number is 4. This little M number is 4. This means this M number is 4. So my numbers are 2 and 4. 2 is the one that I need to know most of all. I mean, you're only gonna use this 4 for a second, but I'm basically gonna take that 4 and times it by 2, which is 8. So my kind of eyeball number is 8. This is the equation you need to know up here. The eyeball number is the number that you need for basically just this step. And then this is the number we found, and then the M number is 4. So my equation is eyeball equals 2 times 4. That's my equation. So my eyeball number is 8. So you come over here and you look at this TV and you basically see which number corresponds to what your number is. So I'm gonna go over here and look. This says if it's greater, or if it's less than 5, it's blue. It's between 5 and 7, it's red. And if it's greater than 7, it's green. So 8 is greater than 7. My number 8 is greater than 7, which means my color for this game is green. And this is the last thing that you have to do with the colors. You're gonna go over here, you're gonna change it from red, you're gonna change it to green. And since my color is green, I keep it on green. And essentially, whenever this is green, you have to go around and get the formulas from all of these different charts. There are 6 charts around the map. I'm gonna show you where they all are right now. It's best if you just take a picture with your phone, take a screenshot, something like that. It's honestly very, very annoying to do with just solo, but here's the first one right here. So you're gonna take a screenshot, make sure that you can see all the names and all of the different formulas on the side. You need to be able to see all of these right here. And that is the first one right there. We're gonna go to the second one. Here's the second one right here, is inside of the spawn. Again, make sure you just get close enough to take a picture of your TV that you can see all of the numbers and all of the different kind of formulas on the side. We're gonna make our way to the third one. So up here right next to the freezer and grocery store is the next one right here. This is the third one. You're gonna once again go ahead and take a screenshot, make sure you can see everything on it. Let's go to the fourth one. Now the fourth one is actually inside of this garage that we haven't opened up yet. You can see it kind of back through here. Don't worry about taking a screenshot or anything yet. We'll worry about the fourth one later. Just know that that's where the fourth one is. So we're gonna go ahead and go on to the fifth one. So here's the fifth one right here. You're gonna go ahead and take a screenshot of this one down by the beach, and we're on to the last one, of course, besides the one that is inside the garage. We're gonna worry about that one later, but this is the last one that is outside of the garage that you have to take a screenshot of. So here we are right here. This should be the last one that you have to take a screenshot of before we get inside the garage. You should have 5 screenshots of the different boards while you are in your color mode. So my mode was green. My equation, my eyeball number equaled 8, which was greater than 7, so I changed it to green. And you have to take a screenshot of those boards in your color when the entire world is in your color, because the numbers that are all around those formulas, they change every single time you change the color. So you have to make sure you have the right mode in order to get the right colors. And then after that, you are completely done with the colors, and then you're completely done with this equation. The only number you need to know is that initial one that we found, the one that where we're crossing off numbers. That's the only number you need to know anymore. That M number and that eyeball number just basically aren't needed anymore. So this eyeball number that you have right here from this equation doesn't matter, and the M number that we found over here doesn't matter anymore. All you need to know now is that original number, which was 2 for me. You don't need to know the 4 anymore. You don't need to know the 8 anymore. For me, all I need to know is that 2 number now. That's the only one, that one that we circled a whole lot. That's the reason why. That's the one we're gonna need for the rest of the game. And hey, you are done with pretty much all of the hard parts of this Easter egg. Let's go ahead and move on to the final steps. All right, so the next thing we need to do is go ahead and unlock the safe which has the code that we're gonna need for the very end of the Easter egg. Now, you need to get a code right here, which is 6249 for me. It's right underneath this desk and right next to the chair. You need to go ahead and get that code 6249. You can just remember it because you're only gonna need it for a second here, or you can write it down if you like to, but it's only gonna take a second. So 6249 is my code, and then you need to make your way to a couple different dials around the map and hit them with the crowbar. You do have to have the crowbar for this. So as you can see, this little thing is going. I missed it. 6, 7. So you need to go, if you miss it, just go ahead and hit it again. It'll start moving. Hit it, and then you need to get this dial to stop on 6. So, because obviously my number is 6, it's gonna be different for you guys. But 6249, 5, 6. My dial is on 6. That is the first dial done out of 4 different dials. I'm gonna go ahead and speed it up so we can go to the second dial location. All right, so the next one is over here up inside this building. So 6-2, my number for this one is 2. So I just need to make sure I stop it on 2. Boom, bada boom, got it. So we got 6-2 done. So now we need to go ahead and do the 4-9. I'll show you guys the next location right here. Okay, so the next one is right on the side of this building with quickies. So we've got 6, 2, so this one needs to be a 4. So I'm gonna go ahead and hit the thing, stop it on 4. There we go, very, very easy. 6, so we got 4. So we got 6, 2, 4, and all we need now is a 9 to complete this step and grab the code that we need from the safe. So here we are, we have arrived at the last location is on the back side of this building, and again, all we need to do is hit that 9. Should have that done, and all we need to do now is go ahead and go over and collect the code. Now, when you grab this code, you need to write it down because for the very, very last step of the Easter egg, you're not gonna be able to pull up your inventory like that, and you have to know the code by heart. So we're gonna go ahead and collect the code right here. Mine is 18476. You're gonna be able to see it as much as you want until you actually need to be able to put it in yourself. So you 100% have to write this code down right now. So the things that I have written down on my paper right now are octahydro, which is from the battery thing at the very beginning. We have the 2, which is my little coefficient number that I absolutely need. And we have 18476. That's what I have written down for my game. Yours is going to be different, but you do have to have those 3 things written down, or else, or just have a really good memory because you're gonna need them to finish the Easter egg. But now that we have that, we can go on to actually forming up the zombie into a key. So to turn the zombie into a key, make your way to the spawn area and make your way over to this little machine, and it's hold square to insert this little punch card into there. Now basically this is a giant game of guess and check. You have 3 chances to get it wrong, and you basically have a little number dial that goes from number 0 to 9. And basically, you're just gonna have to, this is especially annoying if you're on solo because you have to lead the zombie away every single time. But essentially, you just have to keep on putting in numbers and figuring out what the code is. It will be a completely random code, and you wanna make sure you write this down because you're gonna have to use this code twice, once forward, and then once you figure out the code, you're gonna need to put it in backwards. But as you can see, once you get the code down, you're gonna just have to keep guessing and checking, figuring out which is the next number over and over and over. And once you finally put in the right code, you are good to go to actually do the first step of this, which is turning the zombie parts into a full zombie. So you're gonna go ahead and put the 3 different mirrors down. There are 3 different locations you need to put these down. You will basically input the code. The machine will be ready to go and charged up for a laser shot. And all you need to do now is place the 3 different mirrors around the room and make sure you put all the zombie body parts up on this little ridge. And then make sure you go ahead and activate the little code generator thing. Once again, it will shoot a giant laser that will bounce off of all the mirrors, hit the zombie, and turn it into a real life zombie. So there you go. You have done the first step, and now you just need to input the code that you just got in backwards. So for my code, the one that I had to guess and check on was 45368. And once you have that code, the second time you have to put it in, it will be 86354. You'll basically just put it in backwards, and you'll be able to activate the laser once again. You don't have to readjust any mirrors or anything like that. You just have to instantly activate the laser again, and it will turn the zombie into a key. Don't ask me why, don't ask me what just happened, but that is all you need to do for this step. And then once you have that, you can move on to the final step, which is getting all the chemistry done. Okay, so once you have the key and you have all the parts listed down below, make your way over to the garage. You're gonna go ahead and open up the garage with the key, and immediately you're gonna do 2 different things. First of all, you're gonna go over here, you're gonna attach the 3 different parts to the bomb. Or maybe it does it all at once. I didn't actually know that. You learn something new every day. It attaches all 3 of those parts above Elvira. Those are the 3 parts that we collected at the very beginning. You're gonna attach those all to the bomb all at once, and then you're gonna come over here. You're gonna grab these pages that are sitting in this bookshelf, and you're gonna go and give these to Elvira. Make sure you don't give her a filled vial if you don't want her to go ahead and activate once again. But you're gonna go ahead and give her those pages out of the book, and then you're gonna move on to the next step. All right, so we are finally ready to do some chemistry. All you need to do is go up to this, hold square to add all of this stuff here. And the only other thing you need to do is make sure that you go ahead and get a screenshot of this board while in green mode. You need to get the screenshot while in green mode. Once again, you cannot do it without the green mode because unfortunately that is just the way it's gonna be. So for this, you're gonna have your number, which is the 2. You're gonna have your formula that you need to make, which is the octahydro, and then you have the screenshots of all 6 of the boards now, all while you are in green mode, or whatever mode it is that you end up calculating for your game. It could be red, it could be blue, it could be green. And once you're done with that, you can finally get rid of the color forever, for real this time, the actual last one, and we are ready to do some chemistry. So what you need to do now is either go down into the description with the tweet with all of these images on it, or screenshot the one that is relevant to your game. So obviously you listen to the radio, he tells you the perfect formula for killing the radioactive thing is 3-methyl-2, 4-dinitrobenzene. Whatever he tells you, or if it's the octahydro one, whatever it is, you need to take a screenshot or have the information on the screen for what I am showing you right now. Basically, you're gonna have to create 3 to 4 chemicals depending on what the thing is in your game, and you need to create them in the exact order that I am showing you guys right here. So it's very, very easy to do once you get the hang of it, but you do need to know which one is which. And if you need any sort of help on, like, say where paint is, or where drain opener is, or where baking soda is, any of the ingredients, if you don't know where they are, I'm gonna have a text guide in the description as well, and that guide is going to show you exactly where each one of those things are. It's going to have a description of where it is, where you can pick it up, and then you're able to craft everything you need to go into the boss fight, because this is the last step before the boss fight. So take a screenshot of the one you need, go down in the description if you need help finding the ingredients, and then now I'm going to tell you how to calculate the number that you need for the reaction. So the screenshot that I am using is right here. It's the octahydro 2,5-nitro-3,4,7-parazosine. This is the actual thing that we need to craft, and we need to go ahead and make the first chemical, which is formaldehyde. So for that, for me, is racing fuel and quarters. So again, if you don't know where these things are, go to the text guide in the description, but I'm gonna go ahead and show you exactly how to go ahead and craft this. So here we go, I'm at the crafting table. Obviously everything has been placed. We need to go ahead and input our ingredients and then input the number right here. So what we need is we need quarters, which are just around here on top of this little phone booth here. You just gotta hit it with the crowbar, and pretty much anything you have to hit, you do have to hit it with the crowbar, just a heads up. But we're gonna go ahead and place our quarters right here. It doesn't matter the order, it could be quarters, racing fuel quarters. You could do it like one on the end, one on the other end. It doesn't matter, as long as you have the right ones, you are good to go. So then we're gonna go ahead and grab our racing fuel right here. So racing fuel, we're gonna go ahead and place both of those right here, and now we are ready to go ahead and put in our reaction number to go ahead and make sure these two things craft together perfectly. So now that we have our 2 ingredients placed, we need to take a look at our 2 different screenshots that are going to give us the information of what we need to put in for the reaction number in order for this thing to work. So we're gonna go ahead and take a look at our first screen. Basically, you're just gonna have to sift through your screenshots till you find the thing you want. Again, these have to be in your color, whether they be blue, red, green, whatever it is. They do have to be in the color that you calculated at the beginning of the tutorial. So we're taking a look at this thing now, and we look at quarters. Now, basically the only numbers that you need are the leftmost dial and the uppermost dial. So basically just look at it, and you can ignore the bottom one and the right one. Just look at the left one, and the top one for this case is 3 and 1. So very, very easy for quarters. We're just gonna go ahead and go 3 and 1, and that is going to be things that we add together. So we're just gonna do 3 plus 1. You can do this on your scratch sheet of paper. And then we're gonna go to our racing fuel, which is 5 and 9 are the leftmost number and the topmost number. So we do 3 plus 1 plus 5 plus 9, and then you just need to subtract that number that we found earlier on. So for my case, it was the one that was on the bridge. That is a 2. Basically, you just need to subtract that number that I told you to remember earlier on in the tutorial, that number that we looked at all the different ones in different colors, see which one was the one that did not have a do not equals there. Basically, you just subtract that number. So my final formula is 3 plus 1 plus 9 plus 5 minus 2. And once you get that, you just enter the number 16 into the little reaction thing. You're gonna go ahead and hold square to start the reaction. If the reaction blows up immediately, it means you've done your math wrong. Or if it has a delayed explosion, like it starts for a few seconds and then it explodes a few seconds later, that means your chemicals are wrong. So basically just kind of adjust what you have to do from there. You probably took a wrong screenshot or something like that, or you just missed a number somewhere. Either way, after you do all of that, you are good to go on to the next step, which is after you craft the final chemical, you're gonna go ahead and hold square to put it on the rocket. Now, once you put it on the little bomb, you are on to the boss fight. You are ready to go. It will basically give you an option to start the countdown. It'll count down for a few seconds, and then you are able to run up and go inside of the boss fight arena, which I'll explain right now. So basically the first stage of this boss fight is to go ahead and just escort the bomb by standing next to it as all the way down the beach right to the mouth of the big radioactive thing. Take as much time as you need on this. There will be some crogs if you're playing on multiplayer. There won't be any if you're playing on single player, or at least there won't be very, very many if you're playing on single player. But just honestly have people train. Just touch the cart whenever you can. Just stand next to it. It will eventually make its way all the way down to the mouth of the radioactive thing, and whenever it goes in there, you'll be on to stage 2 of the boss fight. So stage number 2 out of 3 of the boss fight is just to get on on these big giant turrets, and then while he's doing an attack, he has a couple different attacks. All you need to do is shoot him right there in the chest. It will have to take a few shots depending on how many players you're playing with. It's honestly easier if you use kind of the side turrets and everything like that, but you'll see it's exposed, it's ready to go. You just need to hop on the death ray cannon, shoot him in the chest, and whenever he is attacking you, and then keep on doing that, and eventually you will go on to the next stage, which is surviving the acid, and then basically doing the laser maze. So after you finish the stage of shooting him in the chest, you basically have to go into a survival stage. To activate this stage, you have to go up to the very, very front where the nuke was launched at the big radioactive thing. All the players, every single one of the players has to go up there, and basically when you're all up there, you have to all activate the nuke area one more time, kind of like how you teleported into the boss fight in the first place. There's a big thing right up here. This is how you actually activate it to start it off. You'll see that there's a button to actually press at the very, very front of the big nuke. As you can see, we all make our way down here and we activate it all at the same time, and you'll see that the nuke actually pops up being blue, and that means it is teleporting, and then you have to run back to the very, very back over here and survive an onslaught of him basically just making the area smaller and smaller that you can play in. He pushes the gas farther and farther back, and the gas does kill you in a few seconds. So you have to stay all the way back here. You have to survive until he basically stops shooting all of his little things off of him, and he clears the entire area, makes it smoke, and then shoots a laser across the entire arena. Whenever he shoots that laser across the entire arena, you have to make your way all the way back up to where that bomb is. As you can see right here, you have to make your way all the way back up there without dying to where that bomb is glowing red. You have about 7.5 or 8 seconds to do it, and basically every single player in the game has to make their way all the way up and touch the bomb and activate it all at the same time. Now, once you do this, all the players will be teleported inside of the beast itself, and you have to input that code that I told you to write down from the very, very beginning. You will not be able to pull up your HUD, the one that was 18476 for me. You have to write that one down and put it in the bomb. If you do not have that written down, basically you lose. You can't do anything, and that's all you have to do. I don't have gameplay of this because I haven't beat the dang thing yet. We're gonna probably try to do this on stream a little bit later after this video goes up, so you guys can stay tuned for that. As you can hear, I am losing my voice after 19 hours of streaming yesterday, but that is about it. Once you do that, you'll be able to collect the soul key, you'll get the ending cutscene, and you will have completed the Easter egg. It's very, very easy once you get past the laser step. In my opinion, the entire Easter egg is extremely easy once you know what to do, except for the laser step is very, very annoying. Especially annoying. But besides that, it's a really, really fun Easter egg, and it is very, very complicated, but I enjoyed it a lot and hope you guys do as well. So that is about going to wrap up the tutorial. If you guys have made it this far, just give me a woo in the chat, because man, this was a long-winded one, about 40 minutes of Easter egg tutorial. But I hope you guys have enjoyed. If you have, go ahead and leave that like. Make sure you're subscribed for the next videos and the stream later on today, and I will see you then. Adios, guys. Bye-bye.